the power of respect. How to command it and protect your time. Have you ever felt like you're shouting into the wind, trying your hardest to be heard, yet no one seems to listen? That painful moment when, despite your best efforts, the respect you know you deserve just isn't coming your way. It's a turning point, not just in how others perceive you, but in how you begin to see yourself. Today, we're diving into something fundamental: respect. A concept as ancient as Stoicism itself, yet more relevant than ever in today's fast-paced, hustle-driven world. The Stoics remind us that respect starts from within. It is grounded in self-control and wisdom. But how do we translate these timeless teachings into our everyday interactions to not only seek respect but to embody it? How can we ensure our voice is not only heard but truly valued? Let's explore 5 practical strategies to command the respect you deserve, starting with a key habit that often holds us back: over-explaining. Whether it's declining an invitation or explaining a decision at work, many of us stumble into a common trap: over-explaining. It's as if we feel the need to wrap our no in a neat package of justifications. But why do we do this? Why do we feel compelled to defend our decisions, to offer layers of reasons when a simple answer will do? This habit often stems from a lack of confidence in our own choices or a fear of disappointing others. We over-explain because we're trying to avoid conflict before it even arises. But here's a thought that might change how you approach these situations. Stoicism teaches us the power of restraint. The Stoics were masters of keeping things simple, of trusting their own judgment and acting without feeling the need to constantly justify themselves. Marcus Aurelius once mused that everything we say and do should be simple, natural, and straightforward. By embracing this, we're not just saving breath, we're practicing virtue. We're trusting the strength of our decisions and standing by them without the need for constant defense. Over-explaining inadvertently signals a lack of trust in your own judgment. What you may think is helpful often comes across as uncertainty or insecurity. So, what happens when you stop over-explaining? You send a powerful message. You trust your decisions. You show that you respect your time, your thoughts, and your own judgment. This clarity in communication doesn't just strengthen how others perceive you, it boosts your self-assurance and decisiveness. And importantly, it commands respect. Start small. Next time you make a decision, whether it's turning down an invitation or declining a new project at work, resist the urge to provide an elaborate backstory. A simple, firm response like, "I won't be able to attend, but thank you for inviting me," or "I need to pass on this project to focus on my current priorities," should suffice. If pressed, remember it's okay to repeat your original statement with polite firmness. By practicing this restraint, you're not just minimizing words, you're setting boundaries. Over-explaining can clutter your message, leaving others with more to interpret than necessary. Keeping things concise ensures your point is clear and easily understood. It allows others to respect your position without getting lost in the weeds of unnecessary details. This clarity is not only crucial in your personal interactions, but it's also a key component of professional success. When you are perceived as capable and confident, your career trajectory can significantly shift. This approach is rooted in Stoic principles: clear, effective communication and respect for both your time and the intelligence of those you engage with. Now, let's talk about another vital aspect of respect: your time. We often hear the phrase, "I don't have the time," as if it's some badge of honor that proves we're busy, productive, and important. But what if we started to view time differently? What if we treated our time with the same reverence as a dragon guards its treasure? In a world where everything and everyone seems to demand a piece of you, guarding your time isn't just wise, it's essential. Seneca, one of the most revered Stoic philosophers, warned against the misuse of time. He believed that being busy was often a product of poor time management and misplaced priorities. Time, he said, is the most precious resource we have because once it's spent, it's gone forever. Adopting a Stoic mindset about time means being selective. Just as a Stoic exercises discernment about what constitutes a good life, you must decide what is truly worthy of your time. Ask yourself, does this task, meeting, or social engagement align with my values? Will it add value to my life, or is it merely a distraction? If the answer is no, you have a strong case for saying no. Saying no is a powerful act of respecting your time, and in turn, respecting yourself. The art of saying no doesn't make you rude or aloof, it makes you intentional. Every time you say yes to something that isn't essential, you're saying no to something that might actually matter more, like your personal goals, your health, or your need for rest. Time is a finite resource, and in today's world, it's more precious than ever. So next time someone asks for your time, think of it as if they are asking for a slice of your life. Would you give that away so easily? Probably not. By protecting your time and making more informed choices, you free yourself from the mental clutter of feeling stretched too thin. This aligns with another Stoic principle, focusing on what's within our control. You can't control the demands others place on you, but you can control how you respond. When you prioritize your time based on your values, you not only safeguard your well-being, but you also command more respect from others, who will begin to see you as someone who values their time and decisions. Remember, every decision you make to guard your time and to trust your judgment builds a stronger, more resilient self, one that is worthy of respect. It's not about being busy for the sake of it. It's about living intentionally, making each moment count, and embodying the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, and self-control. In our busy world, where urgency often feels like the defining marker of success, we can sometimes forget the importance of guarding our time. The Stoics, however, were firm believers in the value of intentional living, and one key aspect of this is knowing when to delegate or simply let go. Not every email requires a response, and not every issue brought to your attention demands your direct involvement. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, very few things are truly as urgent as they seem. Learning to differentiate between what requires your attention and what can be handled by others is an invaluable skill. It frees up your mental space and ensures that you're only focusing on what truly matters. By practicing this approach, you might initially worry about how others perceive your selective engagement with time. But here's the reassuring truth. People respect those who respect their own time. It sets a standard, showing that you value yourself, and in turn, you communicate respect to others. When you do commit your time, it's no longer the leftovers of a stretched-thin schedule, but the best of you, offered with purpose. However, guarding your time isn't just about saying no to others. It's about ensuring you're using it wisely. Stoicism encourages daily reflection on our actions, decisions, and time management. Use this practice to evaluate how your day unfolded. Did you make space for what truly matters? Were you able to say no when necessary? Each day offers a new opportunity to live in alignment with your values. There's a powerful strength in knowing when to stand firm and hold your ground. This isn't about stubbornness, it's about understanding your worth and the importance of your beliefs. In a world where opinions fly freely and consensus often pressures us to conform, standing firm on your convictions can cultivate both self-respect and respect from others. As Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. Stoicism isn't about reacting with aggression or defensiveness, but responding with clear, thoughtful conviction, rooted in the strength of your beliefs. To stand your ground means to be unshaken in your principles, even when others oppose you. It's about expressing your viewpoint with confidence and calm, without allowing anger or frustration to cloud your reasoning. This self-control, central to Stoic practice, commands respect, particularly in moments of high tension or disagreement. It's a sign of integrity and emotional mastery. Of course, standing firm doesn't guarantee that others will agree with you, and that's perfectly okay. Stoicism teaches us to accept what we cannot change, including the opinions of others. What truly matters is the courage to represent your views authentically. Whether in professional environments or personal relationships, standing your ground can be vital, whether it's asserting boundaries, defending your values, or simply saying no when you're already stretched thin. In these moments, identifying the core values you're upholding, such as fairness, integrity, or or authenticity, can give you the strength to persist and communicate your position with clarity and conviction. Consistency is another Stoic trait that deserves more attention. In a world where promises are easily broken, consistency becomes a quiet but powerful testament to your reliability and character. Think about it. When someone consistently follows through on their commitments, you likely see them as trustworthy. Now, imagine aligning this consistency with Stoic principles, living in accordance with your values and beliefs, and ensuring your actions mirror your words, is not just about being reliable, it's about integrity. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that our actions should align with our philosophy, not just in thought, but in deed. Every time you fulfill a promise, whether big or small, you demonstrate to the world and yourself that you are someone who can be counted on. This consistency builds a foundation of trust, which strengthens all relationships, from professional to personal. It shows that you are committed, not just in moments of enthusiasm, but in the discipline of following through. Even the smallest promises matter. Whether it's committing to a project at work, helping a friend, or simply keeping your word in everyday exchanges, following through transforms your reputation. Over time, this reliability impacts how others perceive you and how they choose to engage with you, creating a deeper, more meaningful connection in every aspect of life. Following through on your promises isn't just about fulfilling obligations to others, it's also deeply connected to self-respect and personal integrity. When we commit to something, we align our actions with our ideals, reinforcing the core values we strive to live by. This is a central tenet of Stoic philosophy, which teaches us that while we should not be disturbed by things beyond our control, we must fully take ownership of the responsibilities within our power. By consistently meeting your commitments, you're not just honoring your word to others, you're ensuring that your actions reflect the person you want to become. But what happens when life changes unexpectedly and fulfilling a promise becomes impossible? Stoicism doesn't just leave us to figure this out on our own. It offers guidance. If circumstances shift and you can no longer meet your commitment, Stoicism encourages us to adapt with grace. Communicate honestly about the situation, offer alternatives when possible, and use the experience to be more mindful in future promises. True integrity doesn't mean rigidly sticking to a plan when conditions change. It means responding with honesty, openness, and a commitment to growth. But there's another critical element: knowing when to say no. Overcommitting is one of the easiest traps to fall into, especially when we want to please others or fear missing out on opportunities. However, spreading yourself too thin only leads to broken promises and, over time, a loss of trust. Here's where the Stoic practice of self-awareness comes in. It's vital to understand your limits, acknowledge your capacity, and commit only to what you can realistically handle. By doing this, not only do you maintain your integrity, but you also ensure that the promises you make are sustainable, allowing you to stay true to your values in every action. Accountability goes hand in hand with humility, another fundamental Stoic value. It's easy to revel in success and accept praise, but what about when things go wrong? Owning up to our mistakes is a profound exercise in character building. Stoics understood this well. Acknowledging your errors isn't a sign of weakness, it's a courageous, honest act that leads to growth. When you make a mistake, don't just admit it. Reflect on what went wrong, why it happened, and how you can prevent it in the future. This process of self-reflection, a daily Stoic practice, sharpens your decision-making skills and helps you become more adept at avoiding future pitfalls. By embracing accountability, you also demonstrate to others that you're committed to continual improvement. When you take responsibility for a mistake, you show people your willingness to learn, which fosters trust and respect. The more openly we own our failures and successes, the more we contribute to a culture of learning, both personally and collectively. This approach nurtures a supportive environment where growth is encouraged and transparency becomes the norm. Moreover, owning your mistakes diffuses conflict and builds stronger relationships. Whether at work or in personal life, People are more likely to forgive and support you when they see you taking responsibility for your actions. This doesn't mean avoiding conflict altogether. It means handling it with grace, accepting accountability, and offering solutions rather than excuses. Imagine, for instance, that you made a mistake at work, delaying an important project. While it may seem tempting to shift the blame, by taking ownership, you turn a potentially negative situation into an opportunity for team building. By openly acknowledging the mistake and outlining a plan to resolve it, you set an example of leadership, responsibility, and ethical conduct, qualities that inspire others. Ultimately, accountability isn't just about fixing mistakes. It's about transparency in success and failure. Sharing both what works and what doesn't creates a culture of openness, fostering collaboration and learning. When you can openly discuss your achievements and your setbacks, you contribute to the collective knowledge of your community and enhance the skills of everyone involved. Stoicism teaches us that our reactions to circumstances matter more than the circumstances themselves. So when things don't go as planned, the focus should be on how you respond. By embracing this mindset, you'll not only handle the immediate consequences more effectively, but also align your actions with Stoic principles, focusing on what you can control, your behavior, your reactions, and your personal growth. As we reflect on these practices, we see that they carry profound significance for living a fulfilling life. Whether it's being intentional with our words, guarding our time, standing firm in our beliefs, following through on commitments, or owning our mistakes, each of these practices is a step toward becoming the person we want to be. They form the foundation for earning respect, both from others and from ourselves. Imagine integrating these Stoic principles into your daily life. Each decision becomes an opportunity to align your actions with your values, sculpting the very character you want to embody. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Similarly, the best way to earn respect isn't by demanding it, but by living it. Through self-awareness, accountability, and humility, you cultivate a life that not only deserves respect but also inspires it in others. So, as you move forward today, remember that every interaction is an opportunity to demonstrate your character. The more you practice these virtues, the more natural they will become until one day you realize you're not just acting with respect, you're living it. Keep striving, keep growing, and let integrity, humility, and self-awareness guide you on your journey.